All right, well, that's enough seduction, I think. Is anybody still leveling?
I don't think I need to do anything else, but I'm not sure on Foundry's side.
Okay.
I just need the feet and the hex added, please. If
The
you have a thing.
feet. Which feet did you ask me for?
To swap toughness for extra hex to get lifelink, and then
Take out toughness?
grab. Yes.
Okay. Why isn't that there? Let me look. It's not in the standard feats. Okay. Extra hex. Found it. Now you got it.
Perfect.
And then you needed.
And for that extra hex, it'll be the life spirit lifelink.
Okay.
And then the hex that I get on leveling up, I'm gonna do slumber, and we'll see if it's too much and remove it if it ruins too many encounters.
And we'll see. I'm going to see if I can kill you guys through it. If I can kill somebody through it, then it's fine.
Sounds good.
If
Any undead or elves, you're gonna be.
Yep. I think
Tornek's already gone down twice.
I've never seen this particular build in use, so I told Cactus we'd give it a shot.
Well, is it the like alternate racial trait and ability and all of that?
I did not focus on slumber. Slumber is just
it's not that bad
default
if you
action.
don't do all that crazy stuff with it.
Well,
like,
well, the other reason I'm cool with trying it is what he's talking about is just like sustained party heals. So I can always just hit you guys more if it's not enough.
Yeah, we're more worried about the life link and heal botting than slumber.
Yeah.
Okay. Just about ready to start, I think. First of all, everybody, welcome. Tom, thanks for giving us a shot today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for being willing to take over everyone's favorite NPC so far, Jim.
The Super Rogue.
And the Stabby Rogue.
Title.
He is known as Super Rogue Jim. That's true. So you have a lot to live up to. A crowd of identical NPCs. Yeah, Jim distinguished himself multiple times.
Yep. I think did he down Tordek and make roll 20 on a couple acrobatics checks?
Yeah, how does
he flipped over tables and dodged 8 attacks in a row from other people. And at the end of the fight, we were all standing and he was still going, and I was just like, "You want a job?"
Nobody's asked Tordek how he feels about this. This man almost killed you.
He's impressed.
Impressed. See, what a good attitude. Very good. Okay, you guys aren't actually in the same room yet. The 4 of you are recuperating. You can all have a full rest in a comfy hotel. Or you could sleep at Tordek's house, which is considerably less comfortable.
I'll pull rank and get a hotel.
Yeah, I mean, she offers you one.
I'll sleep in the...
Can I take some time to copy down my new formula?
Which one?
There's a formula book with 2 formula in it.
How long does it take? Do we know?
I think it was hours per spell level or something like that.
If you want to be really sleepy today, you can have it done tonight.
I think they're first level.
So it's just a couple hours?
Yeah.
You definitely have time.
Can I return to the temple and pray?
Say again?
I was just saying, can I return to the temple and pray?
Sure.
Temple of
Sure.
I'm not sure if you need to actually spend the time when you level up. I think it might just, I guess that makes no sense that you just get it, but...
No, this was an item I picked up. It was a formula.
Oh, okay.
With formulas.
But more to that point, this is a bit of a home rule, but I don't do World of Warcraft mid-combat level bullshit. If you level, you need to rest, you need to think about it. If you need to be healed, you need to heal. If you need to learn new spells, you need time. Like I don't. Nobody just poofs.
I thought that's how it worked.
It is. I think normally it might be.
And it's because you're a goddamn sorcerer.
Even then, I would want. I would want you to like. You'd even have to rest to get the spells back. But yeah.
Yeah, the spells I can understand.
If you think about it, you're going to play a campaign for a year or two, maybe, if it's going great, and you're going to level 15, 20 times, and those are the only times I'm ever going to really make you rest. So it won't be too annoying.
So, Corinth, that hotel, how many vagrants are outside? I had some ideas for just light surgery that I needed to test before. Oh, wait, no, wait. We're in the military now. Where are those prisoners?
She says, you already work in a morgue, Doc. How many more bodies do you need?
Well, they need to be live subjects.
Oh, you want live subjects. Well, this mission's going to give you some opportunities for things like that. But if you could, if I could just make a request of you all, I'd rather you didn't commit any crimes tonight.
It's probably not criminal. Just a little bit of soul tampering.
Yeah, well, I've already got enough lawyers and officers and other resources entangled in this mission, so let's not make it any more expensive.
Fair.
You guys get a pretty decent hotel. You get a free meal. Even Jim, you're let out of the jail in the evening, and you're staying in a hotel, and you're told to just hang out in the lobby in the morning to meet your new team.
All right. I'll enjoy the hotel.
All right. You get a bath, warm meal, ale. There's, of course, a wide variety of prostitution services available if you have any money. I'm going to give you some chump change on Jim. You have 3 gold, 12 silver, and 56 copper. You are basically destitute. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, the night will pass. Sun comes up in this home city of yours that today you're going to leave. Some of you maybe for the first time. I don't know. And
would it be possible
yeah.
to requisition from one of the Dotari armories a masterwork crossbow as well?
You were promised one masterwork weapon, but you could go try to ask for another one.
Okay.
You think that would probably involve a bluff or intimidate check on your part. You would be essentially abusing your rank to steal it.
Okay, well, I'll try to bluff and say, yeah, this is needed for the mission, and see if I can get them to hand me over.
Okay.
We had a new addition. They probably weren't aware of it because it wasn't in official channels.
The last correspondence you were aware of told you to pick up your new operative in the lobby in the morning at 7, and then report to the Gilded Dragon, which is the tavern you went to before to meet her, at 9. So you have, well, you can come down the stairs and you see Super Rogue Jim sitting there in a different outfit that looks...
I was trying to requisition it the night before all of this.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. We didn't get that done. The night came. But you do have enough time to go try to pull this shenanigan if you want, just once we get Jim in the party.
Okay.
All right, but you guys come down the stairs, and there he is, Super Rogue Jim, wearing different gear, but he looks pretty well put back together. He's still got a bit of a bruise on one side of his head and a scrape on an arm, but he looks no worse for the wear, really. And Jim, you see these guys come down the stairs in the morning looking kind of sleepy with their gear on, and there you go. Some of them are wearing their badges, some are not.
Moko's gonna stride up. Oh, look who it is! Guys, it's Jim!
Hey, I remember you guys.
I assume you've been assigned?
I guess so. To you guys, to this team, huh? Yeah. So about yesterday, no hard feelings and all. We were just kind of busted in. Thought it was the thing to do.
I think the moral ambivalence you showed is exactly what we need.
Yeah, welcome to the winning side. Try not to kill Tordek again.
Oh, he looks like a big fella. He can take it.
Did I roll that? I didn't mean to roll that.
Trying to wrestle
Wrestling
him?
him.
Yeah, while he's talking, you notice Valeroth is just sort of flexing and
Flexing,
staring
yeah.
off into the middle distance. He's not,
Superman
I'm just
pose.
but he's doing it in such a weird way. He's not turning towards you and flexing. He's sort of looking at a mirror, and then he's looking at his own bicep. Going, yeah. So it's very strange.
Weird, but yeah.
But he is in excellent physical condition, clearly.
You can see why he beat you.
All right.
Well, did Corin tell you any more details of the mission? You know where we're going?
No, just said show up here and follow what you guys are
Perfect.
doing and do a good enough job, and I don't die. Seems
We're
like
to
a
make
good
our way
deal
to
to me.
Longacre, where
Yeah,
we're going
it
to
beats the death penalty.
interact with Rez Lago, who is our superior and contact in Longacre. So get whatever you need, and we'll be off. I need to
I
stop
got
by.
what I need right now. I'm good to go. I think.
I'm gonna see if I can stop by and requisition a crossbow.
Okay. Are you taking the whole group with you for that?
Oh, if they want to come, sure. I'm just going to like the nearest Dotari armory.
Okay. Roll me a survival check to find it. Or a perception check if you just want to find some Dotari to tell you where it is.
I'll just ask a local Dotari.
Okay. All right. You spot one. You pull him over and say, where's the nearest station? And he salutes, as do they all. Up the street. Take a left, take a right, 2 blocks over, Lieutenant.
All right, Eddie's, and I'll head over there.
They nod and keep walking.
So, Jim, this is important. Pay attention to what he's doing. This is called scamming the military. Now that you're part of the military, you need to get on top of this.
Now, Jim, pay attention, because
I don't know if I should really push my
what
luck.
he's
and all.
doing is called snitching, and that gets you snitching.
I'm not telling the other guards. I'm sharing a nugget of wisdom.
Oh, I'm definitely aware of how to grift some shit. But I think in this case, I saw nothing, and just looking for basics.
Let's see.
Now, anyone actually know the route to Longacre? Are we going to be taking a caravan? Was there transportation provided? Assume we're just expected to get there on our own.
So far, that's unknown, I think. He's supposed to meet Corin. You're supposed to say, you're supposed to see Corin at 9 at the Gilded Dragon. That's your last chance for information.
Okay. I'll just make my way over there, see if I can get the crossbow, and then we can head over and talk to Corin.
Okay. Why is this? Oh, yeah. There we go. Save. Close. Okay. You stop by the garrison. Let me bring you guys over here. Don't need the observer there anymore. Let's bring everybody's attention over here. And you see a couple Dotari standing outside.
I just kind of walk past and salute as I do,
They salute.
and walk inwards to the person at the desk.
Okay.
And just say, Lieutenant Valeroth, I need to requisition a crossbow from the armory.
All right. You want me to go with this 20 you rolled earlier? All right. Let's see how they do. He looks at you suspiciously. Valeroth, huh? Okay. You got a sign here. You sign it?
Sure.
Okay. Initial here.
Okay, I sign and initial all of the requisition forms.
He seems like he's running you through another extra layer of bureaucracy, but he goes, "All right, go get him one, Johnson." This other Dotari runs off into the back. Comes back a second later with a chewed up heavy crossbow that looks like it's had a bunch of parts replaced, but its overall quality is pretty good actually. And they hand it to you. It's in your inventory.
Okay, I will strap it onto my back, and I'll nod to him, and I'll say, "Keep up good work," and walk away.
Okay, job done.
So, say we have a couple of hours to kill.
Make sure this works. Yeah, it works great.
Heck,
Works really great.
pal.
I don't seem to be getting a shield bonus from my heavy shield. It's equipped in weapons, but it doesn't seem to give me +1 AC, +2 AC.
Is your weight too high?
Why would that stop me from using a shield?
Wouldn't
Lower
stop you,
your AC.
just lower your AC.
Yep, you're over light load. That's why your AC is down.
Okay.
Too much shit.
Because the heavy load's lowering your dex. Or it's just cramping your AC. Yeah. Foundry's really picky about that. That's why negative strength. If you want to change that 8th strength, Foundry's going to bitch about it forever. So it's going to be a pain. Eventually, you'll be able to afford lighter gear, of course, but that breastplate is what's killing you. Actually, it's 30 pounds.
Only 30 pounds. That's
That's a
shouldn't
lot when
even
you have
take
8
me-
strength.
Yeah, but that should only be like medium load at most. If I look up the encumbrance, sure.
Anything over light puts you into medium.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
in
but
medium.
It's not gonna get rid of my shield bonus from like I don't have a shield bonus is the problem.
Hmm.
If I
Where'd this
do
heavy
AC,
shield come from? Did you drag it in or did you create it?
Yeah, I dragged it in.
Okay, let me look.
It's a
Armor.
7 GP heavy wooden shield.
I'm going to toss it. I'll get a different one because heavy wooden shield normally shows up under armor. Now it's going to work. What you loaded in was the weapon, like you were going to shield bash with it.
Okay,
That's what
Got
they
it.
thought.
okay, that makes sense.
No, it works.
Yeah, medium load shouldn't get like it caps your max dex to like 3, but
With
shouldn't
your
be a
dex,
penalty.
it's not hurting you yet. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's
Awesome,
see.
thanks.
So that's fixed, and you're done here. You have lied to the bureaucrats and stolen 300 gold of Chelish army property. And you're ready to go to your meeting, or do you have any other stops?
Does anybody else need to get anything else done?
Do we have any more
we need
gold
food?
at the Church of Asmodeus? We definitely will need. Well, we need to get info first to see how we're traveling the Long Anchor. We don't know
That's
if
where
we
the
need
meeting
rations
is.
yet.
And we have a voucher for 5 gold pieces with the Church of Asmodeus.
Ooh,
Yes.
that will not get you much.
Get you a nice dagger.
Yeah, if you're looking to strap more daggers to your hips, go wild. Although I'm not sure if the temple will have them.
Daggers are
I
always
should.
good.
I should also have that wand of Cure Light. We got one wand of Infernal Healing and one wand of Cure Light, I think.
Yeah.
Seeing something odd on my character. I think I have less AC than I'm supposed to.
On Jim actually does have light load. I think I put too much crap on you. What did we give you?
Oh, does that affect? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Figure out what that does do.
Yep, it does.
Yeah, it affects your maximum dex bonus to AC.
And you have a high
Yeah.
dex, so it hurts.
Guess I don't need a traveler's outfit.
We'll take off the bedroll. That'll do for now.
Alright.
Depending on how you guys travel, that could be a problem. Typically in
we'll
my
just have Valroth carry everything.
well, that's what happens in my Foundry parties because it's so strict on strength and encumbrance that the strength characters end up carrying everybody's rations and bedrolls.
Well, I don't have that high of strength, so I mean it's only 16. So
Time to get a mule. All right.
Yep.
well, let's
Or you just throw everything on Tordek. He'll carry everything because he doesn't care about encumbrance.
the dwarves are.
No, you do. You need to be light load for monk abilities. You're screwed if you go above medium.
Yeah.
Won't combat hits. He'll just drop everything.
Oh yeah, fair.
He is, yeah, and he's partially a strength monk too, so he has a better light load than most of you. Okay.
Unfortunately, my combat gear puts me in the medium.
Well, looks like this
You guys
party
are
is
carrying a gallon of explosives.
this party's going to need to prioritize getting some mithril chain shirts very soon.
All right.
I just lost connection to Foundry. What the hell?
So did I.
too.
1 second, let me check on it.
Oh, it came back.
It came back already. What are you doing, Foundry? Let me take a peek at it.
Stuck on connecting.
Roll loading.
Oh,
Should I
Server
reload?
died.
Nope. The Foundry server is a Microsoft Windows PC, and Microsoft has chosen now to force Windows updates 6 p.m.
Yes. Perfect.
and I can't stop it. So Foundry's going to lag for a minute and then reboot, and there's not a thing in the world I can do.
Well, it is
Okay.
Sunday, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but it shouldn't do that stuff until like 2 in the morning. I can't believe them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Cool.
Well, do we need Foundry to go meet her?
Not really. But yeah, it's going to be right back, I believe. But yeah, you guys leave the precinct, and you know your way to the Gilded Dragon now. You've been there recently. For once, I won't make you roll survival checks since this party seems to have a habit of getting lost when I do.
Got
And-
+9 survival.
Oh, hey. Well, and this is a really nice bar in a nice part of town. And the place is definitely closed at this time of day, but they seem to have access. And this time you going in the front door or the back?
I mean, we're just assigned to meet here, but
Mhm.
they were wanting it to be, kind of.
Three.
Yeah. So I'll suggest we just go through the back, the same as before. You never know who's watching.
Badges off.
Go in stealth mode, huh? Okay.
Well, subtlety is never bad.
Well, this bar is a medium-sized bar with a big half-circle bar in the center of it. And when you come in the back door, you're just immediately behind the bar where the bartender should be. You guys immediately notice that there's nobody there, but there's a number of people in the place. Off to your left, on the east side of the room, there's several folks sitting around a lit campfire. They've all got drinks and looks like maybe breakfast plates. And Corin herself turns from the bar to regard you guys and says, "Oh, hello, come on around. Have a seat here." And she brings you around to the customer side of the bar and lets you all sit down and says, "You guys look like you're more or less ready to go."
I think we had a few questions, but
Yeah.
we're ready to head out soon.
Really just wanting to
Um,
know how we're getting there. We know who we're meeting.
She says, "Well, I need to tell you a little more than that, but it won't take long." Okay, Foundry's coming back up. She says, "How much do you guys know about the history of your beloved Cheliax?"
The
Very
broad
little.
strokes.
The broad strokes. Well, that's something.
Only
was a
what was taught.
good-aligned empire. Our glorious Magistrix Queen Abigail of Thune, well, her family made some lovely pacts with Asmodeus,
True.
rose to power. The nobility is a bunch of infighting vipers.
Oh my. She sort of laughs at that.
Usual.
Calm down there, bud. we work for those infighting vipers.
It's true, you do. Okay, see
I
if you
mean
can log
that in
back
the
in.
nicest sense of the word. It seems to be working.
All right. So get that loaded. Well, she says this country used to be 5 different countries, and then it was 1, and then it was 5 again, and it's had its ups and downs. But it really got weird when our beloved Cheliax crossed paths with a woman who would one day become a god. Here we are.
The inheritor.
The inheritor. Iomedae. Let me put Jim out here. Jim's not there. This is the scene you're actually on. Well, thanks, Microsoft Windows. It was really important that we had those updates. Switch you over to this one. Okay. There we go.
I'm kind of reloading.
Okay. She says, Iomedae was born in Cheliax, and at 16 years old, she joined the Shining Crusade. She put on armor and a sword and went off to war. Not to fight for her country, but to fight for all the countries. There was a number of nations that banded together against Tar Baphon. Any of these out of character, any of you have knowledge history?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Corin says, Tar Baphon is, as far as we know, the worst, most powerful lich to ever exist. A very, very powerful type of undead. He ruled a country for centuries. Practically every paladin and cleric and of every temple in the world had to unite against him to knock him off his throne. And Iomedae joined this fight at 16 years old, went off to war. And by the time she was 20-something, she was a pretty competent warrior and paladin. And somehow, at the tender age of, I want to say 24, 25, she found herself in battle for their very lives. Several of their angelic allies had been killed. A lesser deity had been, Eridan's former herald, had been murdered in front of them, and Iomedae took up her sword and challenged Tar Baphon himself, and he shattered her blade with a spell. But even still mortal, Iomedae said a prayer, resolved herself, devoted herself absolutely to defeating this monster, and her sword reformed in her hand. And she fought on, and a couple of years later, they defeated Tar Baphon, dethroned him, set Ustalav free, and she went on to many, many other deeds. After that, she's in Cheliax, and the city of Cantaria is under siege from some manner of horrible mass monster attack. For over a year, she ruled the city as mayor and chief defender and protected it, and the city never fell. And she still wielded this sword that she'd fought Tar Baphon with. And at the end of that year, when the enemy was defeated and the siege was broken, she gave the sword to the head of House Narcopolis, which is one of the noble families that lives in that city. Just gave it away. She went on to later take the Trial of the Starstone and become a deity, ascend to godhood, goddessness, whatever you want to call it. And that's where it gets weird. And Corin says, this is the part that we need to be sort of delicate about. So she says, everybody huddle close here. And she casts a spell right here on the spot. If you have spellcraft, you can roll to attempt to identify it.
Torek's a little bit far away. He's like towards the wall.
You're going to need to come in here, buddy. No, you're close enough.
To the silent.
Wonder if that gets it. Oh, that gets it. Mogo, she is casting a spell called Mage's Sanctum. And it prevents any manner of scrying or listening, prying of any kind in a small area. It ensures privacy.
Can I sense motive that other person at the bar with us, see if they're trying to listen in?
Everyone in the bar is wearing a badge and is of equal or higher rank to you guys.
I would move Jim over there, but I can't.
Okay, we're going to unpause. Jim, you should be in here.
He's at the table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone should move into the circle. I need to refresh. My Foundry's a little out of date. But if you are inside the blue bubble, you're good.
There are two gyms.
There we go. Wait, there's another Jim?
Doppelganger, Jim.
Oh,
Tell it to Queen Doppelpopolis.
bye-bye, fake Jim. Only real Jim here now.
I
Nice.
see how she steps away from me as soon as I get up next to her.
Oh, that's not what that was about.
You're
And
right,
then she casts another couple of spells, and you start to see these images floating around you. Sort of, at first, they're paintings or portraits. Sometimes they're a little more detailed than that. And you start to get kind of a visual representation of what she's taking you through. You see Iomadai as a mortal, and you see the sword that she forged with her own will. It looks like a long sword with a sunburst hilt and a golden hand clutching that is the design. You even see images from what people described when she emerged from the Starstone, a goddess. And she continues on and shows you this strange 5-pointed symbol. She says a very renowned Hell Knight named Seldinin founded a new order called the God Claw. The Hell Knight, all the different Hell Knight orders have something particular to them, something that makes them special and different. And the God Claw worships 5 different deities, including Iomadai. And they were based in Mendev. They were fighting the World Wound, and they were most of them are descended from people that fought against Tar-Baphon too. And they are this new order. And they set up a new fortress in Isger, which is a country to the east of here, if you guys are completely daft at geography. Well, these Hell Knights, hundreds of years, almost 1,000 years after Iomadai made this sword and gave it away, they find it. They bring it back to their citadel, and they hang it up on the wall very proudly as Chelish patriots, saying, Iomadai, we claim her. She's Chelaxian. Even if we don't agree with all of her tenets, we are Hell Knights of the God Claw, and she's one of the 5 deities we worship, and we've never been more proud to hang this sword up in a place of honor. And the paladins say, you can't have it. You will give it to us. We are Iomadai's paladins. We are the ones who should have it. The Hell Knights say no, and that's where it got ugly. The paladins put together a small army and stormed Citadel Dinyar. From what we understand, they took the sword, killed or captured all the Hell Knights, and somehow this incredible deed, honestly incredible deed, Citadel Dinyar is a daunting fortress. They decide they're going to take over the whole country. They call themselves the Glorious Reclamation, and at first they're just a bunch of paladins who just tend to get on their horse and march towards the enemy. But they've got a lot more allies now. They're working with the Bellflower Network, which is the network of thieves and traitors that sneak slaves out of the country on us, commit a number of other espionage-based crimes. But they have a subtle arm, and they have a propaganda arm, and they are trying to turn this country upon itself and start another Chelish civil war. And you guys are going to go to the front lines and stop it. I need to take a 30-second break because I just looked out the window and saw that one of our cats has escaped. I'll be right back.
Those paladins sound like a bunch of ungrateful dickwads. We gotta crush them.
Yeah, but some people are very impressionable. Doc looks at Jim.
Right, we have someone here with us now who could tell us what's going on in the mind of these idiots.
I mean, he was with the Dawnflower Network. I assume he just is really into halflings or something.
I mean, what I got out of that is that not that they're ungrateful, but that they can storm a Hell Knight citadel and win.
Yeah, that's something to be
Terrifying.
aware of. We're not going to be taking on those paladins, hopefully. No, I don't like that Corin has a stat block, and it's worryingly high. See her health and AC.
I'm back.
We
So
can
much
take
for
them.
that screen door. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, good.
Did the cat learn to open the screen door?
No. A friend of mine passed away earlier this year, and I agreed to take on his cat. And his cat is used to being outdoors a lot, and ours aren't. And the cat that I took on is just a master. He's a Houdini. He's an escape artist. He finds a weak point in the screen, and he'll kind of budge it open and sneak out. He's just devious.
Sorry to hear that about your friend. And yeah, have fun with that cat.
Good of you to take care of it for him.
I love him. He's a great cat. He's a good guy. But this is a problem. Can't turn your back on him. Okay, so sorry. You guys still have this viewable. This document's gonna stay within your permissions. You should be able to see it in your journals. But
Well,
yeah,
we're not fighting the same paladins that took Citadel Dinyar, right? Longacre is nowhere near Citadel Dinyar.
she says no. We are concerned about them, but again, what those paladins tend to do is get on their horses, or in this case, I suspect ships, and go right at the enemy. What I'm hearing from the regional lords and from one of our operatives there, Reslago, sent us a note warning of this, that there was some subtle propaganda happening, some subtle sympathizing for the glorious reclamation happening in rural communities. And that's why I'm sending you guys out there. And I want you to be subtle. I want you to be unaffiliated with the Chelish government at first, because if you walk in there with your badges on and your fancy hats or whatever, no one's going to talk to you. This is a very remote community. There will be patriots in this town. There will be traitors in this town. But I think this requires a subtle hand. That's why I've assembled this team. I think you have everything you need here to find out if the glorious reclamation is starting to work on our rural communities, specifically Longacre. And if you can stop them, stop them.
About that. So remember my contract how I would have official documentation showing that I'm a doctor? That might come in handy now if I were to, for example, open up a practice, saving those less fortunate locals who could possibly be sympathizers.
It's done. In Valeroth's possession, unknown to Valeroth, is a scroll tube with your medical license, an updated version of Mogo's pardon, and a copy of your orders, should you ever be captured by any higher ranking or any official government agencies.
Perfect.
And Valeroth, you do notice that you have a strange scroll tube in your pack or pocket somewhere it would fit that you didn't notice you had.
Doc will turn to Mogo. So, did you want to be a traveling peddler, alchemist, or work with me at my new practice, tending to the less fortunate?
I kind of am confused. I looked up confused with the. Oh, they just closed.
Oops, sorry. Open them again.
Is that Mysterious Papers? Yeah.
Yeah.
I look up after reading it and kind of look confused, and I say, "Are you sending me to be a teacher?"
She says, she waves her hand and says a very brief magical spell. And the words change before your eyes. You read it now, she says.
I kind of nod while fixated on the page.
She says, that's
Will
your
you
serial
see
number,
any
by the
other
way.
page?
You should memorize it.
Should we be seeing a page or?
I start
Valoroth is reading it at the moment. Yeah, go ahead if you would.
Say, you will proceed on or about the 17th of Eridus 4716 from the present station to the town of Longacre on temporary duty to confirm reported traitorous rebel activity. Upon finding said activity, you will eradicate any seditious elements post haste and report to the local governor, Archbaron Darylus Vex. Travel is unspecified but recommended to be in compliance with prepared cover identity. Cover identity is as an external contractor, Knights of Saber Guard. Appropriate accoutrement enclosed. Create and assume other identities as needed. Local contact Razalago may be of assistance. Last known location unknown. Description unknown. Report success or failure on or before the 18th of Rova 4716 to one of the previously listed contacts. Trust no one. Do not fail. So we're a mercenary company then.
You'll notice in that scroll tube there is some recent paperwork citing that your mercenary company has recently lost all of its government contracts with Dotari because you were commanded to violently put down a pro-slave riot and you refused to execute the rioters. You soft-hearted bastards.
Sounds like us.
Yeah. So the Knights of Saber Guard formerly held lucrative Dotari contracts, but after that incident, they lost them. And then now they're relegated to pulling normal travel guard duty and other things very, very beneath their station. And I've
Sounds
even
like
got a wagon and a peasant man who's hauling some barley back to Longacre.
Sounds like you have a sob story and are looking for work protecting the less fortunate.
It might hold up. This record
I'm
is
gonna
on
be
file, so their people may be able to see it if they have infiltrated our government here at all. I've also put out the rumor to substantiate the history of this imaginary mercenary company. And I've taken the liberty of drawing up badges. She has a strange little badge on her coat, and she just plucks it right off of her own coat and pulls out a few more of them and hands them to you guys. You should have a Knights of Saber Guard buff coming to you here in a second. And it's not accidental that Knights of Saber Guard abbreviates to KOS, which is also the abbreviation for Kill on Sight.
Yep.
So she says again, I don't know how skillful their spies are. I know we're pretty good, but I don't know much about them yet. I would like to know more. She looks at all of you meaningfully. All right? If this cover gets blown, ditch it. Do something new. Be free. Be creative. Be clever. Don't burn down the town. Find the bad guys. Report them to Razlago or Fex if you think you've really rooted it all out. But don't approach Fex until you're certain. He's definitely one of ours. He's a distant cousin of the Queen. He's a loyal servant. But if you are seen talking to him, the jig will be up. They will know you're government men.
What if I accidentally burn the town down? Will I get another pardon?
She looks at you and she says, you wouldn't do that, would you?
No.
I knew you wouldn't do that.
He gets
Very well. Do we have any other questions? Otherwise, we should probably start looking for a caravan or something that can take us to Longacre.
He's out
Horses,
front.
maybe? Right. The peasant with the barley.
Mm-hmm. barley seeds to resow the fields for another season.
Well, I switch over my badge to the KOS, and I say, "Well, come on, man. If we can't work for the government in this town, we're going to have to go and find work elsewhere and start for the door."
Should we pick up any rations so we don't have to eat barley seeds for the entire trip?
Yeah, I was kind of interested in water skin rations.
Definitely, we can get
Yep.
that. I have some already, but we can get more on the way out of town.
Let's see.
Yep,
We
sounds
need.
good.
This is one thing I don't actually have prepared yet. We need. All right. You guys ready to depart town? If you've got your supplies, you'll discover that the wagon has quite a bit of supplies on it already. It has. Let me put you
Nice.
out here. And let me quickly grab a loot person. What do we want to call this wagon? Do we have a name for the barley wagon or just the barley wagon? I'm typing
Feed
barley
trough.
wagon. Say again?
Feed trough.
The feed trough. I like it. Okay, feed trough. And
Say pack mule, but yeah, okay.
say that? What's that?
I was gonna say pack mule, but oh well.
Okay.
The Long Acre Express.
Ooh, no, it's the feed trough already. It's a done deal.
Too late. Okay.
Too late.
Yep. Speak first.
Nice.
Okay, now some of you may know I have an extensive collection of carriage art. You might say I'm a connoisseur of carriage art. So let's do this. Prepare to be impressed. Okay. Oh no, we have to link the token. We need it friendly. There we go. And then we have the feed trough. Looks a little small. Token. Bigger. And always show that name. There we go. Be it ever so dumpy. Now this object, let me give you guys permission. Configure permission. Everybody's the owner. Poof. You can dump things in it. I'm going to put some rations and camping gear in it for you. This is what Corin prepared for you.
Couple hundred crossbow bolts, probably.
I might put some ammo in there, actually. That's not a bad idea. You have some tents. You have some bedrolls. Trail rations. Let's say we give you 30.
Anybody here good at foraging?
I mean, I can find stuff that's edible.
Aren't there
Yeah.
idiots?
I mean, if you're talking survival skill,
Yeah, I was trying to do it, in character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was made in survival.
Yes.
Okay.
I can probably make do with what I can. I can make do with what I do. It's not that great, but it works.
Okay. I'm just, in case he rolls over at night and I point at the tiefling and suddenly everything we have is exploded, might be good not to starve to death on the way to town.
I mean, worst
If he does
case, I
that,
can just
can we eat him?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Assume not among the exploding.
Can't just go around eating people. That's it's evil.
Ooh, that's too big.
We'll see what happens.
Why last time I saw somebody do that, I would commit a genocide.
Okay. So your
Let's get all this
supply.
talk out of the way before Herschel, so talks to us.
He's standing there by the wagon just looking at you guys. Ain't enough room for y'all to sit. You're going to have to walk.
Fair. I introduce myself, and I introduce each person, and I say, we appreciate you making the trip with us. Our company will make sure you're taken care of once you get there.
He does a almost deliberately flippant and shitty salute, and he says, "Private Herschel, some such shit 20 years ago."
I look at him confused, like I don't understand what he's talking about, but shrug.
Okay.
Well, we're good to go, Herschel. Whenever you want to head out, we can bring this well-deserved barley to the inhabitants of Longacre.
All right. Barley seeds, several bushels, several barrels of them. Let's head back to our map here. And you guys might need this over here. There you go. We can actually use the feed trough to represent where we are. You guys, you think this is a sort of a backstory question, but have your characters left this city? This is a big city. You could live your whole life in it.
Yep.
I would say no.
No for Valorant?
I'm from a noble family, so I was raised by the church there in the city.
Tordex moved around quite a bit
So is Doc.
from one area to another.
Doc doesn't like staying in one city for too long, for reasons.
Stuff
This-
and reasons.
This is Mogo's first time leaving the city.
There you go. Exciting. Well, it's pretty strange.
Sure.
As soon as you roll out of the gates, everything smells different. You don't smell as much poop right off the bat. So that's kind of good. But then you smell other things that make you sneeze. There's more bugs. Everything's just a little bit different. You guys head out on the road, and I think you have, let's see, by the road, you have about 120 miles to go. So that's going to be probably 5 days, 6 days at a really good clip. Okay. And the first day is going to be pretty uneventful. You're so close to the capital. It's very quiet. You see people. Herschel waves at him or nods at him, or if there's he sees something he doesn't like about him, he kind of mutters under his breath. He might be a little bit racist and a little bit, bigoted against people he's not familiar with. And the rest of you just walk along either side of the cart all day. It's pretty leisurely, really. Your feet are maybe a little tired by the end of the day if you're not used to that sort of thing. And when it comes to evening, you've got tents, bedrolls, cooking pots, you've got extra firewood. You can set up camp on the road or you can pull off the road a little bit. What's your general plan?
Well, I asked
Herschel, what do you recommend?
Herschel, yeah, if he's made the trip before.
He says, "Oh, some guys like to sleep right by the road where they can see it, and some like to sneak off and try to hide the wagon." He sort of makes a gesture that doesn't make any sense for what he's talking about.
What would you suggest?
Well, ain't my job. You suggest to me how to hitch up the wagon, I'll suggest to you how to secure the journey.
We should probably stay off the further off the main road if we're a mercenary company trying to quote unquote escape Datari attention.
Well, we are that, but we're not really trying to escape Dotari attention. We're just trying to find work since we're no longer employable there. I don't think we have any warrants out for us.
Herschel looks really
Oh, but-
confused and disturbed at this conversation.
We
the
should
hell?
sleep along the road. We ain't got nothing to fear. I mean, sure, we saved some folks and we can't get any more contracts, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he looks at Mogo and says, "Well, maybe some of them bandits show up. You can talk to them. They're your people, probably."
Yeah,
Yeah. If a bandit shows up, I'll just choke slam it.
few less bandits on the
Alright.
road couldn't hurt.
Well, is there a lot of banditry on the road here, between here and Longacre?
No, this would be real boring.
On the road seems fine to me, but what do you guys think?
On the
I'm
road
fine
has
with
my
that.
vote.
What's the worst that could happen?
Someone else traveling and they come over, they track over us. So if we decide to, camp right in the middle of the road.
That's not what we're talking about. On the edge of the road. We're just talking about not going out into the woods.
Okay. Well, that sounds fine to me.
Okay. So that night we set up camp at the road.
But I want to gather everybody up away from the wagon guy and just be like, from here on out, assume somebody is always watching us through a scrying glass. Just be the role. Don't say, for this specific area we should pretend to do this. Just be what you are. Don't.
Well, of course. I'm using my meager savings from our Knights of the Stormblade.
See your cover's already slipping.
From our contracts to start a practice and help the less fortunate of Longacre.
Sure. And the Knights of Saberguard love to have you as our medic. And the Knights of Saberguard, and I repeat it like 3 or 4 more times.
Helping.
Knights of Strong?
What's that?
Yeah, them.
All right, but I don't trust Herschel. I don't know him. So, as far as he's concerned, we're with the Knights of Saberguard. We're a mercenary company.
Of course.
All right.
Does anyone want to take first watch? Before we do that, though, I couldn't find anyone to practice this on, so I think I'm going to need a guinea pig.
You're going to have to give more details than that if you want volunteers.
You it is. I reach
Fine,
over.
I'll volunteer. I'm okay with whatever it is.
All right, just a little bit of meddling with your soul. Don't worry. The spirits have told me how this works. I'm pretty sure I'll get it right. You see Doc just sort of lose focus and gaze through you for a bit, and you feel that now somehow our spirits are linked when we're in a short distance. I'm just activating a life link on you. So, all right. If you get hit, I should be able to transfer some of that damage to me. Anyone else? I can probably maintain one more of these bonds. I look at Valrath.
Sure. I imagine myself and Tordek would be the best object for that, since we'll be at the front taking the most hit.
Don't worry. It's entirely painless. I now know.
Wasn't sure until that moment.
Well, I double check really quick with Mogo. Was it painless?
It wasn't Mogo. It was Tordek.
It was Tordek. It was me.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Check with Tordek.
Thing.
Was it? Okay. All right.
You see Doc like scribbling something in Notepad. Somehow didn't hurt. Yeah, I'll throw a life link on you as well.
Okay. I'll take first watch.
I'll take second watch.
Okay.
I'll take a
Yes.
nap.
I guess I'll take third.
Okay. Remember those watches.
Yay.
Tonight passes peacefully, but they might not all. Next day, you guys get up, and for some of you, this might be your first experience kind of camping, roughing it out in the wilds. Can be a little itchy, a little disturbing.
Oh,
Hey,
we made it there.
whoa, crazy wagon drivers. Mario Andretti's driving the wagon today. All right. I should say Lewis Hamilton. Gotta update my jokes. That night passed just fine. Herschel's hitching up the wagon and ready to go, and he's got some just bitter black coffee in the morning. Some beef jerky he's chewing on.
Well,
Coffee. Great. Mogo will partake.
Okay.
As will Doc.
It's pretty awful. It's sort of, yeah, he's boiled
me
it
of
way
home.
too hot. He's kind of burnt it slightly.
Because Mogo has fire resistance, he's just gonna drink that bad boy straight off the fire.
Yep. It's
Tordak
like
just take a big old. He'll just drink it down like I've had worse.
some delicious ash water to start your day. And,
When it's hot,
I'll just
it's
drink the
not
water.
that bad.
well, most of this day passes peacefully. You see fewer other travelers. You're getting farther out in the country, farther away from Igor, and you can't even see it in the distance behind you anymore. It's all forest. And the road twists and turns and splits, and you hear Herschel go, "Oh, that way's longer. This way's better in the spring. This is summertime. We're going this way." He seems to know what he's doing. He knows the land. He knows his wagon. He sure as hell knows his horses. They seem to have their own language between them. And the next day passes. The next evening passes. The next day passes. And the next evening passes. And I need you guys, if you would, each of you do a take 10 perception for me, just so I have your passive perceptions in the chat.
is there a way to do take 10 on that?
I think so. When you click your skill, it should give you the option.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I need to skip some days ahead too here. Let's see.
The heck,
Dawn
Doc? Taking watch.
20.
I needed
On the
to maintain my beauty sleep so that I could pay attention later.
of course. On the fourth day, on the 21st, just after noon, you guys are getting to about here. Doc, out of the corner of your eye, you guys are just mindlessly walking, talking, admiring the weather, getting a little sunburnt, figuring out how to be more comfortable camping and roughing it kind of the way you are for 4 days. On the fourth day, out of the corner of your eye, you see a black splotch on a rock on the side of the road. And you ignore it, but then you take another step and you think, that's recently dried blood. And it rained 2 days ago, so it can't be that old.
How far out is it? Is it like as we pass it, or is it off in the distance?
It is as you pass it. I'm going to take you to this map here. And I need to put the wagon there. Come here, feed trough. Poof. Feed trough looks incredibly small on this map for some reason. Let's fix that.
Doc will elbow Valrath and point it out. Looks like either something was hunted there, or someone met an unfortunate end.
Okay.
And it is right about here that you notice it. Let me pull you guys over here. This is what you see, Doc. You see a blood spot on the rock, and then as you get a little closer to it, you see a big blood spot on the ground. It's dried, mixed in with the dirt. Someone hit the ground bleeding a lot and then was dragged a short distance, and then it stops.
I don't have a token on the scene.
Let me reapply all tokens, because you definitely do. But I'm going to reapply them all. Poof. Does that get you? If it doesn't, you might need a refresh.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, good.
Okay, well, Tordek, you said you were a fair hand at tracking, right?
It's not the greatest, but it'll work.
You want to see if you can find where they dragged it to? And I don't even see the cart anymore.
You might need a refresh then. It's right next to you. I'll drag it out again just in case that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't see the cart.
Yeah, I don't see. There we go.
Now I do.
It's too small, but you get the idea.
I'll tell him to wait. We're going to investigate this so that we don't get ambushed, and pull out my sword and
It
shield.
might still be here. It can't be more than a couple days old.
Wait,
Fail.
one ahead of us to go check it out, or are we all going
I
together?
thought we were all going together.
Great.
Yep.
Jim, perfect opportunity. Show us what you got.
Well, I think we're waiting on Tordek to track it.
He's
No, I
got
rolled
a
it.
20. Is what I see for you, Tordek.
Yep.
All right, let me get. That ain't the right token. Where is it? Oh, he's on the map.
I'm just saying, I got a feeling there's about to be some killing, and I want to see Jim do his thing.
I can be all sneaky, maybe. Never really been out of the city. Let's see how well I do.
Okay.
Well, you see these green things? They're called trees and bushes. If you keep them between yourself and the other person, they probably can't see you.
What about the trees and bushes? Can they get me?
Only some of them.
Ambiguous. Very well.
Tordek,
I
If they
guess.
have arms, if they have arms and teeth, be
Tordek
very-
takes a look at this.
Yep.
From what you're seeing, whatever happened right here, and then they were dragging him up the hill, but then they managed to pick him up, and then they came back, and right where Valeroth is standing, there probably were tracks. Someone has pretty skillfully counter-tracked here. You see some sort of look like they took a branch and swept away the footprints, kind of mess with things there, but you think they definitely went up the hill.
I think I see a body to the left.
You do. You turn the corner and you see a very out of place burlap blanket covering something roughly human sized.
Let me be all sneaky.
Doc will say, "Ooh, a body! It's like Christmas."
There's a
Wait,
sack. Yeah. Continue wandering.
open up. Check to see if there's anything with the body or any other any traps. I guess.
Okay.
The odd chance that they.
Go ahead and give me a
Have a
heal
snare or
check, Doc.
something?
You've got a pretty high heal skill, I think.
Yep,
I'll throw
be
back
a
the blanket,
terrible boss.
see who it is.
I've
It's right
lost,
here.
lost sight of Jim. He's disappeared.
He's a rogue. He does
That's
that.
damn good.
Yeah,
Good.
that's what he does.
He is good. Rogue Jim, right, everybody?
Doc, this particular individual is a late 30s human male. He took a couple arrows in the side of the ribs. The arrows have been removed and not in a gentle way. They've just kind of been torn out. And he also has blunt force trauma to the back of the head. He's
Does it
been
look
dead
like any of the
probably
valuables-
24 to 30 hours, you think?
Any valuables or identifying things on him?
Stripped.
Paperwork, letters.
He has tatters of clothing. It looks like they practically tore his clothing off.
It looks like this sad SOB got mugged and put up a bit of a fight before they took everything of value. There was at least one archer, but he could have died from the fall or whatever hit him in the back of the head.
As Jim rejoins us, I'll turn to him and say, "Find anything out there?"
Some of those trees are a little suspect. They tried to get me.
I forget,
Burn this forest down.
does Jim have a survival skill? Did he buy that? I don't remember, honestly. I don't think rogues get it usually.
No, I'll roll it for as good as this is gonna do. Yeah, see, this is why he thinks trees are getting him.
Yeah, you didn't. You were looking up at the trees. You were sure that's where the attack would come from, but it never did.
Well,
Well, with no
Um,
tracks, and nobody else in the area, I guess we just move on. But
yeah,
guarded.
keep our eyes peeled.
Tordek, do you want to have a look? That you actually have the skill.
It's just a plus. It's just a wisdom modifier, so
Okay.
it's not actually put a rank in it next level.
Okay. You can roll it if you wish. The counter tracking, they sort of swiped away their footprints through here, but then you see some multiple, oops, thank you, Foundry, Multiple footprints going to the northeast. Away from the road.
Those footprints are heading towards the northeast.
Oh, is this a new survival check, not the one from the road?
Yeah, he made a new one.
Okay, I can try a new one as well then.
Okay. Does Doc buy it?
Yeah, I'll cast guidance for +1,
Ooh.
so 21.
Okay. Doc, you have a look over here at what Tordek found, and you confirm this is 6 or 7 humans, probably males, wearing very similar craft of boot, with very similar equipment, walking in at a leisurely pace, trying not to leave a lot of marks and tracks, but there's half a dozen of them at least. And they go off in the same direction together.
I think we found our trail to a bandit camp. If we can follow the few tracks that are here, do we want to try to ambush them or just make distance?
Do we want to? Like, do we?
Well, aren't
something we
aren't
care
we the
about?
knights? Aren't we the knights of Saber something? Shouldn't we be caring about innocence?
Well, no, we're a mercenary company. We care about innocence when we need to care about innocence.
I'd rather them not come up behind us later.
Wait, no.
It also
An excellent point.
We're
yeah,
the
it
good
also
guys.
might
Yeah,
help. Yeah, it might help us with our cover in Longacre if we bring a bunch of bandits to justice.
Mogo remembers, wait, what? What are we? Oh, the good guys.
That's right. We're the good guys.
Hey, I just remembered something.
Note to Mogo: never go up to somebody and go, "Don't worry, we're the good guys."
What?
Not in Cheliax, anyway.
Oh,
Even if it's the good guys you're talking to, it's a terrible way to open up.
Okay, but before, every time I'd open up with, "Hey, I'm the bad guy," so I just thought.
Yeah,
it's the
there's
opposite
multiple
now.
things you can say that are wrong. That's correct.
well, let's
Well.
go save some innocents.
Okay.
All right. Well, I let Herschel know, and I guess we follow the tracks as best we can.
Okay. You guys just all walk together with your tracker?
That's
Seems to know what he's doing.
Okay.
Please get us lost.
He says you follow them for another maybe quarter mile. There's a couple of twists and turns. And then he comes upon a kind of thicker part of the forest where you can't see as far. And you say that they've kind of thrown caution to the wind at this point. They're no longer trying to conceal their tracks at all. All of you can see that now. Trail's quite obvious. And they dead end at what looks like an abandoned, boarded up mine.
So, this is where we can just burn them out, right? That's still
That
what
seems
the
like
good guys do.
yes.
Do mines burn?
Well, I mean, if you have enough fuel,
You
do
just
we bring
you
enough
just,
oil?
Got a whole
you
wagon
set
load of
fire at
barley.
the entrance and you
Target,
just
the next thing I get the money goes, home. He goes, I didn't bring my pickaxe or my shovel.
I mean,
They
ultimately,
probably
I'd like
would've-
to take whatever they took.
Yeah. Worst case, we bring them to justice. Best case, we kill them all and take their stuff. I mean, bring them to justice.
Well, we take their stuff anyway. What are you talking about?
Jim, you're
So
a former good guy. What would you do?
Good question. If it was up to me, I would probably kill them all. Yeah.
You are. That's the good way.
Yeah.
You heard
Sounds
it.
right.
Oh, our moral conscience has told us the way.
Good guys, Super Rogue
maybe
Jim
we-
said.
Yeah. Maybe
I'd
we should
rather
go
not-
on the
carry a bunch of potential witnesses to something we misspeak all the way to Longacre and have it just bite us in the ass as soon as we get there.
I mean, we just take one of them with us.
Potential witnesses.
I'll keep him knocked out.
I mean, really, if we're here to stop a potential threat to our travel, let's stop it, deal with it, take whatever's valuable, and then move on. I don't want to
Yeah.
take prison.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Kill them all.
I have prepared invisibility. It's not really a spell. It's just murdering all the witnesses. So
So we're going in.
Yeah, you know what? Now that we're
That's
out
right.
here, Herschel isn't around. Should we get rid of him when we get to the town? Does he know?
Herschel
point?
Herschel knows that we're the Knights of Saber something, right?
He seemed to indicate that he was working for the government, but I definitely don't trust him.
Yeah.
Can any of you drive
Maybe
horse and cart?
Oh,
maybe the thieves here got Herschel, and we had to finish them off.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. He might be useful later on.
Yep. We're not.
Oh no,
saying
no!
that.
The thieves
You
got
sneak
him.
in front of-
Delayed a few days from now somehow.
No, but here's a question: can any of you guys drive horse with cart?
Yes, all of us can.
Herschel can until we're right outside the gate, and then the
And-
thieves got him.
Even then, I'd still no murdering people that potentially work for us.
Just concerned about him.
Greg wouldn't murder the guy anyway.
And he's not going to blow our cover. We worked for the government before. We just lost our contract.
Right. I'm fine with that. I just, don't be telling him our business is my only thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
You hear him
maybe
yelling from down in the
Jim-
road. You actually hear Herschel going, "What are you doing? We're fucking
Quarter of a
around."
mile away.
Is he yelling that to us?
Yes.
From a quarter mile away.
No, when you guys wandered off in the woods, he yelled at you for a bit. And you hear him yelling in the woods behind you some
That was what we
distance.
were doing. I went back and told him.
Okay.
So once we get closer to get to the mine, Turdek's gonna pop one of his potions.
Okay.
I'll just walk up at the front with Tordek with the shield up.
Okay. You gonna throw open the doors and charge in?
mm-hmm.
Are there doors to a mine?
Sometimes.
They look boarded up, but I'll give your front line a perception check. Tordek and Valeroth. Valeroth, you don't see a way to open these doors. Tordek, it looks like they're not really nailed shut. They just look like they are.
He just opens it.
All
Throws a
right.
bunch of boards out of the way.
You throw open the doors, and you see a couple of guys inside with torchlight looking at you like, what the? And it takes them a split second to realize what's going on, and then they go, oh, shit.
Hi, you missed some things on the body outside. We wanted to give you a critique of your technique.
Okay. We're going to go to combat because you see them very clearly reaching for their weapons.
Yep.
And remember, you want to right-click the little fist to pop out your combat tracker. Then roll your initiative.
It might not go through.
Can you add 4 to mine?
Add 4 to Mogo. Okay.
Yeah, because the heightened awareness spell.
Gotcha.
I've already forgotten where the initiative is.
Okay. Do you have your combat tracker open for Jim?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay. Solid.
Rogue Jim.
Okay, so we're going to... No, it's supposed to be on Mogo. There we go.
Oh, we all managed to actually go before them.
Pretty impressive.
I don't see any reason not to throw a bomb.
You know what they mined here?
I was gonna
Nope.
say, go after the other one.
This looks like it hasn't been a mine for a long time. This, even just at first glance, you guys are noticing that this lair is well lit. There's lots of torches. They've got a little blacksmith forge. They've got a little kind of butcher board. They've got a dining table to the right with some food on it still.
So
Oh, shit. Just
I
gonna
think
blow
it's
his ass
minus
up.
2 for being outside of my first range.
Okay. But you're hitting on touch, right?
Flat-footed touch.
Yeah, he has a 12 touch, so you got him. Well, as soon as you guys get in there, Valroth, Jim, and Tordek, you see a small object go flying over the top of your head and land at the feet of this guy and explode. And it knocks him clean off of his feet into the fire behind him, and he crashes into some of the tools and falls next to the anvil and lies very still. Tordek.
Tordek moves up to this guy.
Okay. Oh,
I
let me
wonder what
unpause.
the-
Let me unpause. Sorry, I had it on pause.
Moves up to him and then he just goes to grab him.
All right, get him. His incredible CMD. Up, you got him. You come flying across the room, and this guy looks at you sort of confused. He doesn't really make it all the right maneuver to get out of the way, and you just jump right on him. Okay, so he's grappled.
And this is with that was also that's also with the Denbong because he's always wielding that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, Doc.
The one that got blown up is still alive.
No. Let me mark him with the proper death thing. There we go.
Okay. He got gibbed. Doc will take a step up over here and cast Slumber on the one that's grappled, just to make it easier.
Okay.
DC 15.
DC 15. Let me see if he can do it. That macro is not working, so I'll just do this.
Doc will say, wait, there's been a misunderstanding. We're here to talk.
He looks at
Oh,
you.
good, he fell asleep.
He doesn't trust you, and then he kind of falls backwards into Tordek's arms, who catches him. He's quite strong. What do you do with him, Tordek? You just lay him down?
He looks at the so do I finish him off?
Sure, if you want to coup de grace him, you can. Are we out of combat? Sorry.
Nope. You hear
Okay.
running feet and yelling after the explosion you guys set off.
Then, yeah, coup de grace him if you can, and we'll deal with whatever comes in.
He'll go ahead. He'll go ahead and savage slam him into the ground.
Okay.
So I gotta make another grapple attempt.
All right.
That's a 16.
Wait,
Total. Easily.
helpless.
Mm-hmm. You pretty much just roll your damage twice. You can coup de grace him. You have your whole turn, and well, this will be on Tordek's next turn. That's Doc puts him to sleep. Valroth, do you want to do anything?
Which direction is the running coming from?
From the right. It's echoing off the walls. It's kind of hard to tell, but you're pretty sure the most of the noise is coming from your right.
It's been a couple of weeks. How do I chart out a move again?
Left clicks while you're measuring, and then space bar to make him do it. Sorry, control left drag, and then click. Left click. There you go. And then space bar if you want to do it.
Lock in like multiple moves so that I can like.
Yeah,
chart
you can
my
keep
way.
clicking.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Take a double move over to here and just set my shield.
Okay. Jim, these guys are flying into action just like they did to you guys.
Yes, it's familiar. I'm going to get all sneaky and Let's move over to. Oh, if I can move there. Move at least here.
Okay.
And yes. I
You
take
can probably hop up on that cart. Get the high ground.
get delayed.
Yeah, you can ready a swing when they come around the corner. You
Yeah,
smack
ready
them.
to swing for somebody gets in range, basically.
Okay.
Attempt to be sneaky and stab him in the neck or something.
All
You
right.
might want to be up one more spot. Do that.
Subdued.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
1,
Yeah.
2.
I might need to roll stealth. I guess.
Okay. Park. Park. Yep. Okay. Oh, I need to do this for next round. You're done. You're done. You come here. You start moving. You start moving. Okay. My genius level enemies have made their moves. Mogo's turn.
All right. You see anyone over there, Val?
Several. Kill that one and get over here.
Isn't he? Oh, he's not dead yet.
Right. I guess I'll go 5, 10, 20.
And I also yell, or I also chuckle and say, and they chose to stand next to each other.
I think that's all the further I can move. Oh yeah, I guess that's it.
Okay.
Worry, guys, I figured out a new technique for throwing bombs into my allies.
Oh boy. All right, Tordek, this is where you did 4 and you did 8. Honestly, I don't think he makes this fort save.
Oof.
Okay.
Good.
Wow, he made the fort save.
He did.
Hey,
Well-
buddy, do you want to?
Oh boy. Tordek body slams this man backwards, and somehow he lands on his shoulders instead of his neck and head and rolls a little bit away and looks absolutely stunned. Like he's so out of it. This just knocked the wind out of him and everything. And he's gasping and holding his head and staring around the room confused, but alive.
Well, then I guess Tordek can't move 5 foot step, can he?
Yes, you can. Yeah, we sort of back came because you're, but yeah, 5 foot hop wherever you like.
Yeah, he's going to pretty much move closer to the guy who he realizes is still alive.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Then this bandit. Valeroth, you look like you are about to take some arrow fire from down the hall.
I figured.
This is range increment 1. No negative. That's not going to hit. Okay. This guy's also going to take a shot. Ooh, does that hit?
That'll hit. Yep.
You guys see an arrow come sailing down this hall and get past Valeroth's shield. Stick at him.
I can click on my token and just click apply, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I'm going to move over by DC. Move over here behind Jim. I don't see any. Oh, I do see someone, but they're quite far away.
Is my
That
halo
is
not working?
45.
Your light? Oh, we can turn your light on.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
I'm gonna move down the hall as a double move.
Okay.
Double check that distance. I think I got another 5 feet. And move one more step up, and I'm done.
Oh, were we linked? Did you take some of the damage that I had taken?
Start of my turn. Yes. You heal 5. I take 5. I didn't realize you took damage.
Well,
So as that happens, Doc will say, it's like performing surgery with no hands. This is great.
I thought you were going to say, oh, now it hurts. Now that makes sense. Okay. So Doc done moving?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Double move into the line of fire.
Valoroth.
Okay, I will total defense as a standard action.
Okay.
Just kind of bring up my shield and put my head down and charge down the hallway if I can.
You're a maniac. Let's see it. You can see those spike barriers make it difficult to melee them from that side, but
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through.
they're not that well set up. If you run through them, you'll be at them.
That's it. That's my turn. I'm
Okay.
just creating a shield wall as I move up.
Super Rogue Jim.
All right. I'm gonna attempt to continue being stealthy.
You're pretty sure they're going to see you. The hall is very well lit because Valoroth has a glowing halo around his head, and that hallway is just lit up.
Well, we'll be stealthy, but no longer move slower then.
Yeah, you might as well go full speed.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna move here. Oh, there's a guy.
There is a guy.
Can I hit him? I can't quite tell where he is on the tile compared to me.
You will not be able to melee him through that spike barrier. You'll have to get around it.
Well, I guess I'll just stop here and ready in action for when somebody gets in range again.
Okay. All right. This guy, 1 hit point left. He's going for it. He pulls a short sword on you, Tordek. Can you believe the balls on this guy? He comes at you with it. Does that hit you?
No. Is he on the ground still?
Let's see. You double slammed him. Yeah, he just attacks you from the ground.
Yeah, so he takes penalties.
He doesn't hit. Yeah, he just takes a wild swing at you with this sword and doesn't connect. Can't do it. This man goes, holy crap, and 5 foot away from the rogue that just ran out of nowhere, just came into his view, and he fires at the rogue.
Oh no.
Jim, you flatten up against the wall, and the arrow skips off the stone above your head. Mogo. I know what you're thinking. Bomb, like right here. Maybe a little further. Yeah, right there. Nothing could possibly go wrong here, Tracy.
So I still don't have precise shot.
Oh, boy.
They're not
Nobody's in melee.
Fine.
Nobody's in melee. Yeah, you could throw an alchemist fire right there and get full splash on all of them.
This guy just exited melee willingly, so it's his fault. Just don't mess up. There's really only one place it could mess up if you throw it short.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to aim for that center square right here.
Okay. Gonna hit them all with the splash. You probably have range negatives, but that square's AC is 5, so feel like a golf announcer. This is not a difficult shot. He typically makes these. He's lined it up. He tried to shank it into the rough, but he's landed the shot perfectly. Okay.
It's weird that it went into the
That was close.
upper squares.
Yeah, we might need to reshape your template. It's supposed to be 5 foot radius?
Yeah.
So it should have gone right there.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So, do they get a reflex save versus?
But it's only 5.
They get reflex saves versus your splash, right?
So
Yeah.
Holy
Wow.
crap!
Wow.
All right.
Just hoping they don't have evasion.
Impressive.
The rogues.
As it happens, they don't. You got to
So-
make it to level 2 rogues to get evasion.
I guess they still take 3 damage.
Yep. You see them all kind of duck and cover and get behind their protective barriers, and that absorbs some of it, but they're partially on fire. They're trying to put out their clothes, and they're kind of shocked. Tordek.
Tordek's just gonna go ahead and punch the guy on the ground.
One-man death battle. Who will win? You will win.
Tordek won.
You won. Yep. He's down.
After that, he's gonna go ahead and move.
Yeah, he was looking like a little feral cornered badger there with his short sword, and you just right hook into the face. He's down. Good shot. Now this poor man hops backwards, fires at. He's going to fire at Jim. Jim's the closest, and that will hit. Super Rogue Jim is hit.
So apply.
There you go.
There you go.
And then this bandit, Tactical Genius Bandit. This man is going to stay behind his spike barrier and also shoot Jim. Take that,
Oh.
Jim.
No.
How
was
dare you
definitely-
come to the front line on your first day? Doc.
I'm gonna cast Slumber on the one on the left.
Okay.
That's just outside of his barricade.
Got him.
DC.
Let's see if he does it. Ooh, that's a poor will save. He is asleep.
Get him, Jim. Get revenge. And then Doc will take a step up.
Okay.
And I'm done.
Valroth.
That left one's asleep and the right one has a bow out, right?
Correct. Left is asleep. The other two have bows.
Okay, I'm just going to move up and attack this one with the longsword.
You walk. He realizes his mistake as you walk right around his spike barrier, and he suddenly wishes he had pulled out his short sword at the end of his turn. Holy
Yeah.
crap. Valoroth, you just walk around the spike barrier and gut him like a fish. His guts fall out. He lays limp against the wall, staring at his own devastation. He's gone.
Okay.
Shocking death. Jim, you've seen him do that before, too.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to.
And
Jim
this guy on the
going
left is asleep,
to-
so he's non-factor.
But it also
I'm
means
gonna-
free sneak attack on him.
That, too.
Yeah, I'll move up to at least here. Right? There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess I will.
Single dagger, and if you hit, it's going to be sneak attack.
Yeah, is coup de grace a full round?
Coup de grace,
Yeah,
full
yeah,
round,
yeah.
and the damn spike barrier cheated you out of it.
Yeah. I think I can just wait. I don't need to do this just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good enough.
All right. This man, get off my initiative tracker. You are dead, sir. This man is asleep. So, Mogo. Look at that
Sweet.
bomb. They're already in formation.
Yeah, but I don't want to blow up my friends.
Oh.
Hey, any target's a good target, right?
Write that down and send it to Gabriello.
But I am going to try to shoot past them with my crossbow.
Oh, that's weird. Whenever you type something, it changes my screen over towards him.
There's a setting for that?
Yeah, you can turn it off in.
Turn that off.
You go to the little game settings at the top right, and then you click configure settings, and it's called pan to token speaker. You most likely want that unchecked. It's pretty annoying.
Do we hear any other noise yet?
What's that?
I'd like to listen out, see if we hear anyone else coming up.
Currently, no, but there's a lot of racket in here. Everything in here tends to echo. It's pretty tough to hear.
First explosion hit. Were there any kind of scary shifts of rock or anything that would make us nervous? Jeez.
Not so far.
That was against that dude down.
Whoa. The farthest target?
Uh-huh.
Well, Valoroth, you're sitting there pondering whether or not this guy should really be throwing fiery explosives around you. And a crossbow bolt sails just over your shoulder, and you're like, whoa, you felt the wind of it touch your ear and your hair, and it goes straight into this man's eye, and he falls backward in a heap.
Yeah, Mogo will just go, oh, I thought I was going to hit you guys for sure.
Yep. Pretty good shot. Tordek, they're having fun down there without you.
I know. He's going to have to double move.
Okay. Dwarf just comes trucking down the hall. Okay. This bandit is very dead. Get off my initiative order, bud. And then you, sir. And you, sir. Also done.
It's the end of his turn.
Okay. Then we're going to go to Doc.
If I still have damage, do you take that damage, or is it just
It
increments
has
of
to be a
5?
minimum of 5.
Okay.
If it's anything less than 5, it doesn't heal.
Okay. It's
I
interesting.
know how life work works.
That's great. That's great. Doc, do you need to reposition or anything? Things are quiet for the moment.
Can you hear Doc? Because I can't hear Doc.
Cacta, is your mic working okay? We're not hearing anything from you.
Heard something I first said. Hear Doc.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay, there he is.
Your turn.
It is your turn, sir.
Perfect. Sorry about that. Bio break. I will cast Slumber on the remaining rogue.
He's already asleep.
Oh. The other two are dead?
Yep.
There was a third one.
A couple of crits happened, and they went down.
I will walk up here. Do I hear anyone else?
Nope. All is quiet. In fact, for the moment, I'm going to take you out of combat. But you see that the complex goes to the northwest and the southwest from where you are. So you're fairly certain there's more to worry about in here.
Already in action to attack him as soon as Jim coup de grace. And then
Oh, ye of little faith.
commence to stabbing. Hey, I saw one guy live through it. So
Yeah, that man did survive a coup de grace.
Only because Tordek didn't do a whole lot of damage to him.
But then he tried to ground fight a grappling monk. So
Yep. Didn't go so well.
Nope.
I'm going to say,
So,
Hugo, do you want to hit
we
Jim
would
with
kill
the
him.
wand of Infernal Healing?
I guess.
Yeah.
All right,
I
here
guess.
we go.
Should I roll the damage?
for
It's
the
10. It takes a minute.
For the unconscious one.
yeah, go ahead,
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Jim. You can go
so-
ahead and do 2 daggers and 1 sneak attack.
All right. So full attack,
I do 8 damage on top of whatever he does.
sneaky damage.
This is supreme overkill. He takes 11 from the rogue, who just sort of gently slits his throat, but then sort of doubting you, clearly, obviously doubting you. Lieutenant Valoroth, obliterates the man with a huge swing from the longsword on top of what you did.
Nice.
Never hurts to, be thorough.
Did I heard some sort of healing thing? I don't know if there's a status for that.
Yeah,
Infernal healing, it just
I'll
heals
get
you for
this
10.
second. Apparently, I don't have the wand on me already, so
Oh, you need a wand of infernal healing placed on you? I'll get it.
I think is Infernal Healing one that heals one over like 10 rounds? Is that one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it gives you
yeah,
fast healing
yeah.
1 for 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Yep. So it takes exactly 1 minute to heal 10.
So as long as you have that minute, it's pretty great. Okay. The wand is on Mogo. Is there another wand I need to give out?
We also
I
got a
already
wand of
gave it
cure life.
myself.
Mogo got it or someone else?
I've got it. Doc has it.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see. Good.
yeah, so we can wait for that to heal Jim. In the meantime, let's look around. Do we notice anything odd, or does this just look like a bandit camp where they've been storing their
they've got-
legitimate salvage?
They've got tents here. They've got a lot of torches lit. You see some random equipment, bedrolls, sort of wilderness roughing it supplies. Valroth, when you round this corner, you see this cavern goes pretty far to the west from where you are. You're looking down a 75, 80-foot hallway to the west of you.
Like there's a bridge ahead.
Mm-hmm. A rickety bridge.
Oh, that reminds me. There's also a body in a cell.
Cell?
Yes, we didn't. Yeah, we
It-
saw that.
alive or dead?
It was dead.
He looked dead.
And it'll keep.
Yeah, let's make sure no one flanks us from behind. There are 2 paths. So, do we see anything down this way?
If you take a look, you can go up there and take a look. Pretty dark down around that corner, though.
Have you got dark vision?
Right around there, Tordek. I gotta pause you because you get shot at.
Of course, I get shot at.
Of course, you get shot at. That's
Why is it
just
so
Also,
Tordek.
Tordek, if you move, I think
Can't move.
out
It's
of
pop.
medium range of me, you lose the life link. This is an FYI.
okay.
It's been a minute.
Pull up your combat tracker. You've probably healed about, I'm going to say 3 or 4. I don't think you guys lingered. But do pull up your combat trackers and roll initiative.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. This is essentially his opening shot at Tordek. That arrow comes awfully close, but you avoid it.
Actually, isn't that against my 5-footed?
Oh, right. New combat. Very honest of you. Thank you. That's a re-roll for the party at will for Rise Honesty there. Thank you. Good catch. You do get shot.
I mean, if I had a little bit more to my 5-footed, I would have missed.
Yeah, but I do like to bribe you guys when you help me do my job. So thank you. All right. He shoots the dwarf. The dwarf takes an arrow out of the western end of the cavern. Doc, you hear it.
Is he still in range? He's still in medium range, so I might feel it.
As
He
the
takes
crow
5?
flies, he's 50 foot.
So, yep. If he's taken 5, heals 5, I take 5.
Okay. He took 5. Tordek, strangely, the arrow falls off of your body and the wound closes very quickly.
And you hear Doc shout,
Oh,
"No, Tordek's in trouble!"
yep. Very strange. Jim.
I can't see through this fog.
Yeah.
I might still have a turn, but I just don't see anything here.
I'll turn a light on dark
there you
vision's goofing up for some reason.
Yeah, the game is paused, so I can't.
And let me
move, but,
unpause. There you go.
I will round the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Doc.
20.
I'm gonna
I
pop a
don't see
light on for
anything
you. I'm
else.
gonna pop a light on for you too because you have dark vision.
Thank you. 2, 3, 4. Don't see anything else. I'm done.
Okay. Mogo. Everyone's running in different directions, and some people are being shot.
Guess I'm following Doc. Double move? Because I don't see anyone.
Okay.
To there.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Tordek.
Hey,
Tordek, your turn,
So-
sir.
Get in here.
so Tordek's gonna spend his one key point that he gets from being a dwarf because he's got the iron
Mm-hmm.
whatnot to give himself a plus 20 to his base movement speed.
All right.
Run.
Really put him right there.
When you get right here, this person who is at ready, cut the rope. If anybody runs across it, cuts the rope, and Tordek goes tumbling into the pit. Make me a reflex save.
Ready for reflex saves.
He's probably pretty good at him. Tordek, you are going to take half. Do you have evasion? You don't have evasion yet.
You have evasion.
There's no evasion.
Yeah, monks don't get evasion, right?
No, monks do get evasion.
What level?
2.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's his notes evasion.
Okay.
I mean, it's only versus AoE stuff, though. I'm
No,
not sure
it's-
evasion
I
works
think
on
reflex save.
It's a
another
reflex save versus a collection of spikes. I'm willing to give his monk magic. He tumbles, and you guys see some weird shit happen here. The dwarf runs out onto this rickety wooden bridge. The rope is cut, and the bridge snaps like it's designed to, and it just sort of falls. And he falls. It's maybe a 5 or 10 foot down, and the dwarf very quickly wraps himself in the now free falling bridge and absorbs a bunch of spike impacts, and you hear him go ugh, and hit on the bottom, and he's still moving around down there, so still alive. And Tordek, you managed to wrap this stupid bridge around you to absorb all the damage of the fall, and a couple of spikes scraped off of it.
And he's put on this side.
What's that?
Is he on this side? I take it on this side of the bridge.
Who?
Tordek.
No, you're in the pit.
Oh, he's in the pit. Okay.
The bridge is gone. You are in the pit.
That's the end of his turn.
Okay.
Because he was trying to get over there, but
Of course, yeah.
apparently no one decided to cut
Well,
the bridge.
These rogues are tactical geniuses, and they sprung their trap perfectly. Yeah. That was his ready action, though, so technically his initiative is now put that right there. Balrog.
Okay.
Remember, the bridge is out.
Game is paused.
Game is paused. I had to stop the dwarf from killing me.
Okay, I will take one move action up there, and then standard action, full defense.
Okay.
Total defense, sorry.
Tordek, you're fish in a barrel. You get fired upon. Oh my gosh. He fumbles the arrow, and it just kind of comes bouncing down the side of the pit towards you, vaguely.
Thankfully, he's still wrapped in a bridge.
Yeah, you thought you were going to have to try and use the bridge to defend you again, but luckily his shot was just terrible. Doc. You saw the dwarf fall into a pit, and yet you didn't feel any damage hit you, so he must be okay.
Yeah. 5 foot step up and preemptively flinch, expecting to be in pain, but it seems fine. That rogue is more than 30 feet away, and he's got a friend beside him anyway, so no point in putting him to sleep. I'm gonna hit myself with a wand of cure light And I'm gonna draw. Actually, I guess I won't. I'll draw the one and hit myself with that. I forgot to buy spring-loaded wrist sheath.
Okay.
So I will cure 1d8 plus 1, and I'm done.
All right. Super Rogue Jim. The team is run in two different directions, and you hear a lot of yelling, some crashing,
Yeah.
some smashing of what sounds like furniture.
All right. I guess I'll move down south. 1, 2, 6. And I'll probably just double move this point because I still don't really
Yeah.
see anything.
Yeah, this has
2,
become a running battle again.
4, 5, 6. I think I can stand here. And that's about it. And I'll heal one from the infernal healing it was.
Okay. If you wanted to trip the charge, I think you have to, on the wand, you have to hit the little sword
Yeah.
button.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
That should trigger, and it should roll the HP too. There you go. Then you can just click apply. Jim, Mogo time.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20.
You can just roll a grenade right into that pit. There's no way he could avoid it.
He's got evasion. He'll avoid it.
You see, Dwarf does
That's
a
actually
double
true,
backflip.
yeah. Lands on top of one of the spikes. It's
Uses
Ha!
the spikes to defend himself.
Yes. He wraps himself in spikes and shattered bridge somehow,
Next, you know, he's staying on top of a spike.
becoming a junk monster.
Trying to decide if I want to hit one or if I want to hit both. I guess I'll try to just hit the center square there and splash them. Actually, you know what? That didn't work out last time. They have really good evasion.
You still have
skills.
the what do you call them? The fire, the alchemist fire, because that doesn't have a reflex save.
That's a good point.
It just does flat damage.
I do have one of those. All right. Those have a 5-foot splash, right?
Yep.
Toss them out in the middle between them.
I wonder if they ever
Oh, also-
errated that because it
Didn't
doesn't make
because
any sense.
they didn't because it stops being useful after like 2 levels.
Right.
Yep.
I guess that
Also,
I wanted
I
to.
forgot to ask, but on the 4-day trip, did we have time to like craft or anything?
You're walking all day and then sleeping all night. Not a lot of time. And no tools or ability to really set up shop anywhere. So probably
the
not.
alchemist has alchemist stuff.
Wah, wah. Missed.
Missed.
Oh, no, I was aiming for the square. Never
You were
mind.
aiming for the square, you hit. So let me apply some damage to these men. They are really hurt.
Damage each.
They're on fire.
Yep.
So it shouldn't be 8. It should be the same splash damage as my
That's
bomb,
6.
which is 7.
Okay.
Wait, it's minimum damage plus your int, right?
Yeah.
So you have 7. You have 6 int.
It's
It's so
5.
high?
I have 5, and then there's another thing
Oh.
from Grenadier that gives another
Oh,
one.
right.
Is it point blank shot?
Nah, it's something else.
Grenadier thing.
Cool.
Yep, he's cheating for that +1 damage.
Totally.
You old stinker.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Good
throw
shot.
anything. It's the one that gives you an extra damage.
They look incredibly hurt. This one, oh no. He falls back and fires his bow at the evil alchemist. Wow. Dude.
I feel really bad for you. You're really bad.
So Tardek's gonna go ahead and throw one of his shuriken at this guy.
All right. You can see him. The pit's only about
I just
6-7 foot deep.
Kill the steal the kill.
Yeah, KS. That's what I should have
It's
named your
always
mercenary
happening.
company, just KS. Okay, that hits. You see him trying to pat out a fire on his armor and on his pants, and then trying to pull out an arrow with his bow, and you just chuck a shuriken straight into his face, and he falls backwards. Bye. Good shot. You still have a move action? Do you want to try to climb out?
Yeah, he's gonna attempt to climb out.
Okay. It's not a super difficult DC, but if you fail, then you do have to do the reflex versus the spikes again. Oh, you're fine. Yep. He gets that far. You guys see the dwarf just quickly clamber up the other side of the spike pit, taking care not to hurt himself any further.
I will drop my sword and shield and move, and while I'm moving, I'll pull out the crossbow.
Okay. The stolen crossbow.
The requisitioned lawfully.
Illegally, unlawfully requisitioned.
Lawfully. You know, I went in, said what my rank was. They gave it to me, as they are required to do. And then I'm going to shoot at him.
It was done lawfully against the law. But, like, the law was involved.
And see, that's what you get. Racked with guilt, Valoroth is unable to aim the crossbow properly.
Racked
And
with
he
guilt is definitely the character trait I was going for.
snaps the bowstring. One of the screws falls out the side. He just, this piece of shit. It's bandit time. You're dead. It's Doc time.
Doc is gonna step up to here, and the live one will try to take a nap.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh. No. He
What
is
End of that.
finding that he's very tired.
Wait, can you suplex him into the spikes?
I mean, he's asleep now, so sure.
Yes, I could technically, yes, but it's the DC is a little bit. He gets a it's a plus
He's
5.
unconscious.
Yeah, you're right.
Unconscious.
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm really gonna go up to it when it's my turn. I'll just go up and grab him.
Jim, you see that they've downed all the enemies, but several of them are yelling at the dwarf and making hand signals that look like they're bringing their elbows down into the palm of their hands over and over again. You're sort of confused. And the dwarf's looking back, like nodding with this really happy, excited look on his face.
Throwing his hands up in the air repeatedly, like, I need applause.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So I would like to. There's no bridge, so I'd like to run over there and see if I can jump across.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
Ooh.
I can double move and then
Run
acrobatics.
and make me an acrobatics check.
6 skills.
He's about to suplex himself into the spikes.
I was wondering, I'm like, I roll 1. This is
Pretty
gonna
good,
go bad.
actually.
No,
Jim
it's
sprints
super
past
low, Jim.
Doc, points at Mogo and says, "Your shoe's untied." And when Mogo bends over to look, he runs and vaults off of Mogo's back, runs along the wall, and lands on his feet on the other side of the spike pit with his heels hanging over it.
My shoes don't have laces.
These are sandals.
All right.
Perfectly done.
Guess I heal 1 from my infernal buff. And
You do.
assuming I don't have any more actions. I still move.
Mogo, can you believe he did that
Double
to you?
move,
You should
right?
just throw a bomb at him.
I am tempted to fire a crossbow at the sleeping guy, but I guess I won't.
The Knights of KS.
Chaos?
Yes. KS, not chaos. We endorse KSing. We do not endorse chaos in this campaign.
I guess
Controlled chaos.
5, 10. All right. Whew. That was really awesome, Jim. My turn.
Yeah, you can do it, buddy.
I'm going on the left-hand side here, so I don't land on Jim.
Huh.
That's
What's about to
Further.
happen here?
Nothing good.
Okay.
Doc takes a step back.
You're definitely gonna
like,
see him just jump belly flop right into them.
He is
Spikes.
100% trying to run on the wall, just like Jim.
Oh no, roll acrobatics and you better get a 20 because that's what it takes to do amazing shit.
Doc is glad that he doesn't have a
Oh
license.
no!
Well, this is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. It happens in slow motion. Mogo looks and goes, "Well, fuck, I could do that," and runs up the wall. The beginning of the plan is beautiful, and it looks like it's going to work. And then right around here, gravity catches up with Mogo because he does not have the momentum or the agility that Jim displayed. And he starts falling sideways, face first, into the pit. Right around here, you can tell he's trying to twist his body to avoid the spikes and makes a reflex save, hopefully.
Tieflings are like cats. We always land on our feet.
Always land on the spikes.
Yeah. Very good.
Feet on your face.
And Mogo scrapes, he slams into the ground with a little bit of force, and a couple of spikes scrape him. Nothing quite skewers him. He'll probably be okay, but it's not very graceful. And now he is stuck between two of them, laying sideways on the ground at the bottom of the pit.
Is that 4 damage?
Yeah, you take 4 slashing damage. Or piercing. Pretty amazing, though. It was. You all got to see it. You're all glad that you got to see it. You're better people for it. You learned a lot.
I see him just rolling down at the bomb going, oh, it hurts.
Sleeping enemies don't get a turn. We're pretty much out of combat here. Tordek, do your absolute worst. I think you suplex him onto the tiefling.
Suddenly, Val has a sign in his hand that says Tordek 316.
Yeah, it's like that old Jordan commercial. You're like, suplex the sleeping guy into the pit, onto the tiefling, nothing but net.
So that's what he's going to do. He grabs him up, picks him up where he looks like he's going to suplex him. And then I guess roll damage twice. Next turn.
Uh-huh. This is a helpless opponent, so 3 and 3 more.
I also had to do that first.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you succeed. He is knocked unconscious when he hits whatever. Which square would you say you're trying to throw him in? This one? Or this one? Or maybe this one?
Well, it's got to be within 5 feet.
Oh, you can't throw him onto Mogo. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be this square right here.
Okay. He goes in the pit. And let's see. Ouch. You throw him right onto a spike. You have made a bandit kebab. That's it.
Doc will say, but we have to loot those guys. Now they're in the
Got somebody down there for that.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
Mogo's
oh,
down
yeah.
there. Mogo knew that he would be needed.
Good thinking.
Thinking
Good
ahead.
thinking,
Way
Michael.
ahead of you. Oh, he starts to stand up.
Okay.
I'll
Way to
pick
show
back up my
initiative.
sword and shield.
Good move.
Wait, this thing.
Is there a way across for those of us that aren't willing to try and run across a wall?
Very slowly climbing. 2
All right.
climb checks. One to climb down gracefully and one to climb out gracefully.
Hey, Mogo, can you pass the bridge back up? We can probably fix it.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
do have
have-
rope in my bag if you want to.
You guys
Might be
have,
able to climb across Mogo. Probably, helping out a little bit.
if anybody prepped a
Okay.
mending spell, that could do it.
I was gonna do that. It takes 10 minutes, but it just
It's
fixing
actually
the rope
quicker to
is-
just use rope, yeah.
Okay, fair. Yeah, we'll just retie it.
Okay. You repair the bridge. No problem.
Which
And then I'll lower a rope to be able to get him out.
Just put my hand up here. Help me. Pick me up.
Oh, right.
Roll a strength check, Balroth, to provide a nice strong anchor. Pull your alchemist out of the spike pit that he willingly jumped into. Yeah, okay, you just drag him out.
Right.
Mogo,
Oh,
you just
yeah.
grab the rope and kind of just ride it up to the top.
Here, I do it.
Alaroth, you're so strong.
I look in the mirror and wink.
Yep. Why is there a mirror, though? Where did
Yeah,
that come from?
he
You brought
just
the
showed
mirror.
up as I
Takes
started
it out of his
doing a
pocket.
strength
That's
check.
your mirror, asshole. You're carrying, it's like on the inside of his shield.
Suddenly there on the wall. It's weird.
Toby, I'll need you to take my character out of the pit.
Oh, okay.
So what's all on these unfortunate bandits?
The bandits
We should
are
probably-
packing. They've got leather armor. They've got short swords. They've got short bows. They're pretty well equipped.
We should also probably clear the rest of the camp before we start looting. And Jim should
What?
deal to the rest. Jim should probably heal the rest of the infernal. of the
Yeah,
group.
I think enough
Well
time has
ahead of
now
you.
passed.
Already good.
Cool. Well, let's head down here. Is there anyone else?
That's a cool V for Vendetta thing.
Hey Doc, I
Yeah.
noticed you were kind of slow fumbling with that wand. Would you like to use this? And he offers him his spring-loaded wrist sheath.
Oh
My
yeah,
tail's pretty handy.
sure.
It can usually do most of the work.
Yeah, I forgot to pick these up on the way out of town. I'll put the wand in one and wear it.
I found a door over here.
Dark. Keep this torch going. Yeah.
So I don't have any way of moving items, but if you want to just add one, I'll remove mine.
This is a little
Sounds good.
What need
I'll buy one when we're on Longacre.
what needs to go where?
Spring-loaded wrist sheath off of my character over to Doc's.
Okay.
I think the program is lagging or something because I'm not able to
Yeah.
move, and then suddenly it just goes wild.
Okay. You might need a refresh.
Definitely lag.
Found their treasure.
There is a little treasure cove over here in the water. And there is a chest, and it's actually just open and unlocked. They did not expect to be attacked today. You find
Save
some.
the Queen thing, is the V for Vendetta thing.
Oh, yeah. You do find some art in this area. The chest has all the coin in it. The art is just laying around by where Valor's standing.
I found a door.
Well, maybe don't run out there by yourself or take 11 arrows to the face.
No, go on in
Doc's
there.
here.
Go on in there. It's fine.
Doc's here. I think I can handle this.
Hell yeah.
do it.
Click.
You find a secluded bedroom. And it doesn't look like anyone's used it in a while. Everything in here is immaculate. The torch was lit maybe hours ago. It's kind of burning down. And the bed is sort of made. It doesn't look like anyone's been sleeping in here in some time.
There's a chest.
Breastplate in that chest.
Nice short sword. Nothing I would use, but
Deposit masterwork longbow in there.
I mean, this is all stuff we can sell.
I'll use the breastplate. That's an upgrade, I think.
Yeah, all
Grab it.
yours.
Oh, neat. You can actually-
Whoops. My bad. Mogo,
Guess
you
I'm
feel a
still-
funny breeze in that bedroom coming from the southeast corner.
So, oops.
Hey,
Moving the chest
hey.
around.
Stop that. Hey, what are you doing?
I didn't do it.
out
Either
of
of
there.
those.
Moving it over here.
Great.
You find a strange little switch on this shelf, like a lever bolted to the side of it in a strange way.
Without telling them what I'm doing, I'm just gonna hit it. I'm gonna pull the lever.
Okay. You immediately set off a firebomb on the party. No, I'm kidding.
That would not be the first time you've done that to
yeah.
us.
True. I love doing that to you guys. No, you find a secret room off of this bedroom
Yeah, Mogo for the win.
with another chest.
Jim, come on, get on my level.
What's in here?
You're supposed to be the rogue. Come on, man. That's the whole
Yeah.
reason we hired you.
Hey, quit throwing these
I was
chests
being all
around, you
roguey earlier.
maniacs. And take away your chest privileges if you keep chucking them. Okay, so this chest, you can see someone's hidden a bunch of, I mean, this is very well hidden. Pretty well, this room. And they've got a bunch of supplies in there, including some potions.
Nice. I'm gonna take the cure.
You don't mind if Tordek takes the master backpack, do you?
Go for it.
All yours.
You said there was, aside from the paintings in here, there was a bunch of other stuff.
There's some coin in the chest.
Oh, okay.
Most
Didn't
of the art is actually, unfortunately, ruined by being in this wet, dank room. It's all molded and crumbling, but God Save the Queen is in perfect shape, and so is the statue.
Do you guys want to keep God Save the Queen, or do we want to destroy it? I personally would like to destroy it.
Have the rest of you looked at the
Both you
description
can.
of it?
Yeah, it's 1,000 gold, and I don't want to be that guy.
I'm taking it.
The only
Okay.
I
It
love
is-
the queen. Okay.
highly illegal. No, the painting is unflattering rendition of one of the members of the royal family of Cheliax, one of the queen's family members. Like the queen would want this destroyed.
Oh, then yes, burn it.
It is contraband. It's illegal. Being found in possession of it is a crime, and punishments range from a hefty fine to public execution. Tremendous liability to possess, but worth quite a lot to the right buyers. Like if you sold it to the rebels, it would be worth a lot.
Weirdly, I think that like owning it would give us an in with the rebels. Like we couldn't possibly be agents of the crown if we had that painting.
Yeah, we should probably keep it.
On the other
Yeah.
hand, the queen would want me to destroy it.
Yeah.
So
This
Any-
is one of those.
But no. We can gift it to someone who we will find out where their secret base is, and then we can burn the entire base to the ground,
with
including
the painting
the
inside.
portrait. Yeah. Think of it as our ticket to
How do
of
you-
admission.
How do you take currency out of the chest and put it into, like?
That mod is, I think, busted. So I will just have to do it.
I accidentally hit one of the arrows and it collapsed all of the coins into higher denominations, and I don't know how to undo that.
Okay. Well, that's cool because I didn't know it could do that. So we're all learning. But basically, you guys have, 400 gold to split up.
Nice.
So I would say you each
also-
just write down 82 gold and we call it a day on
That
this.
sounds fine.
That works.
Yep.
All right.
There are also some Masterwork Thieves tools in here.
Yeah.
I think Jim already has a set, but
Have them. Yeah.
Well, they're still worth a pretty penny.
Yeah, they're worth money. I'll grab them then.
Tordek roll. Oh, wait. No, Doc has actual survival. You have a rank of survival, don't you?
I have one or two ranks.
You do. Roll it
Yeah,
for me,
rank.
please, in the bedroom here.
All right. Close. Character sheet.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab the rope.
I grabbed one of them as well. So there should only be 2 rope.
Oh, it says 3 right now. So just subtract
Yeah.
1.
Doc, go ahead and make
Alright.
sure your token's
there we go.
selected and roll that again. The wooden chest is
Okay.
not too good at survival.
Oops.
We did need another bedroll, right? Like somebody was short a bedroll.
No, you're loaded up on that stuff.
Okay. I'll take the trail rations and we'll put them in the trough. It's something.
I didn't mean to grab both of those silk ropes.
Doc, whoever is this bedroom's owner is clearly the leader of this group. Everybody else is sleeping on bedrolls out in the cave where it's kind of moist, and in here it's nice and dry, it's clean. And whoever lives here hasn't been here in many days, maybe even a week.
Hmm.
And since all of the bandits were brutally killed, you have no idea who actually lives in this room.
Who wants to take the honor of urinating on his bed?
What's in the backpack, or how do we look inside backpack?
That's just the backpack that he put in, that he replaced with his masterwork
Oh,
backpack.
okay. There's
I
some-
just
there's
literally-
something in-
He left stuff in it.
Look, you
Oh,
guys
where
are.
are you-
Oh, yeah, it does have an item in it, doesn't it?
Oh, where are I leaving it? Whoops.
I kind of can't tell. Nobody's taken the soap. You guys will encumber yourselves for like 200 crossbow bolts, but not soap.
We're about to be in town. I think we can find soap.
I just think
I've already got it as part of my paladin kit.
this party undervalues personal hygiene. what I
That
think.
I
is
just already
correct.
had some.
I
Yep,
can make
they-
soap anytime I want.
Oh wow, you really are
As an
the Tyler
alchemist?
Durden
Need
of Pathfinder.
Human fat.
That's right. All I need is fat.
Selling their fat asses back to him. That's Mogo. It's his cover
Fat-
identity.
Fat
Tyler Durden.
fly. That's all I need.
Well, we've successfully vanquished those
I did not.
bandits that
I did
were.
not grab those paintings. If one of you wants to carry them,
I am very weak. I'm already carrying too much.
Yeah,
Wait, how do I take
I nominate the monk.
duplicate? Yeah.
Fine. Tordek will go grab a painting.
might as well grab both of them.
Well, one's a tiny statue.
Wait, where's the stupid freaking thing at?
Should be in that chest next to you.
I can't. Oh, there it is. Oh, now I. Looks like my vision's all fucked up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, on Tordek. It's fine. Oh, I can't choose Tordek. Okay.
I can put these things on you if it's goofing up.
That's probably a good thing that I can't just start assigning loot to people. That would turn into a problem.
Oh no, you'll get that ability once you make captain. Okay, Tordek's going to take God Save the Queen and the Thinker. Actually, I think my Foundry might need a refresh too. I think Foundry's just a little struggling right now.
Really is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tordek's got it all.
Okay.
Are these grates like just leading to waterways that are kind of flowing water, or are they doorways?
It's a creek. Yeah, no, it's not big enough to even crawl through after a few feet. I think they did it just to keep animals out.
All right, let's backtrack and loot the rogues.
Okay. Just going to get a bunch of leather armors and short swords there. Short bows.
Bless you.
Thank you.
What's the infernal version of bless you? Damn you.
Fuck you. Yeah, it's damn you.
I think it's
Oh,
just
it
who's
opened.
doing the blessing.
I did open the door. Who is this nameless corpse that is not a bandit?
It appears to be a man who is wearing, well, sort of the garb of a worker. You probably suspect he's a miner or some local craftsman. He's been pretty well beaten to death. Many different blunt force impacts on him.
This used to be the boss.
Could be.
Got tired of this shit.
And they were like, "Your bed is awesome. It's our bed now."
Yeah, they all sleep in it.
I take turns. Or not.
It's the only civilized way.
The boss may come back later, but we're all done here.
All right, all
Yep.
done here. I'm refreshing my foundry, and then I'll pull you guys back to the road.
Is there anything on that random worker or any of the rogues?
Not really.
Not really, right here.
All the treasure was in the chest.
Got it.
You guys make your way back to Herschel?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, Herschel. Bit of a detour, but we found some bandits that I don't know. They all died.
Tordek walking around with a 3-foot by 2-foot painting under his arm?
They mysteriously died.
Oh, we should have grabbed like maybe one of their cloaks or something to wrap that in.
You could wrap it in a
He's got
blanket.
a blanket. He wrapped he wrapped it in a blanket.
Perfect.
Okay. Herschel looks at you guys and just goes, "Uh-huh."
Yeah, it was awful. They might have caught the plague. I don't know which plague, but it was very bloody.
Very high fevers. They were burning up.
I'll be right back. I have to go pee.
Okay.
Anyway, we should be safe to keep moving. There are likely very few bandits that will not have caught this plague in the area.
Okay. So the party's mounting back up?
Yep. On the feeding trial. We should
Huh.
probably hide that painting.
I assume
Better
Tordek
wrapped in a blanket.
wants to put it on the wagon.
Yeah, maybe like hide it under the barley or something.
Okay.
For searched, it'll probably be found, but
Now just remember, if that thing's found, it was all Herschel.
well, it's his wagon.
Damn straight.
That's true. He would be hanged for it, not you guys. So, perfect alibi, right? Okay.
Bulletproof.
We're back on our wagon. We're back on the traveling. Let's see, I don't need this tavern. And you guys travel the rest of that day. Camp one more time. Herschel thinks you'll probably reach Longacre tomorrow. And if there's nothing else, we'll fast forward that evening. We can talk about
Good.
we'll talk about crafting in the Discord later. You guys, I'm fine with you guys setting aside like a couple hours per day to work on crafting potions or other random crap you want to make. It'll add up and you'll be able to get it done. As long as you have the tools and a safe, quiet place to do it, campsite's fine.
Sounds good.
Okay. Next morning, the sun comes up. It's a lovely day in glorious Cheliax.
So I guess Tordek's gonna put the thing on the cart.
Yeah, it's on the cart. The art
Okay.
is on the cart.
Okay, because apparently it's still on my character sheet, but oh
You-
well.
You can toss it off of you.
Should I do the same thing with the thinker?
Yeah, I put it on there.
Should we also add a bunch of leather armor and bows to the cart to sell?
If you got them, if you can carry them out of there.
Oh, we can stack them on the dwarf.
Okay. Let's see. Give me a second here.
I mean, yeah, I guess he'll carry all the equipment that's being sold.
I mean, just
Yeah,
until we
most
get to the
random
feed
shit.
trough, and then we can put it on the feed trough.
Yeah, it was at least 2 bows, a couple other armor. It's not nothing. We're low level.
Okay. Do this. Weapons. Short bow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 6 short bows. Got 7 short swords. Did somebody grab the other stuff that was in the boss room chest?
Nope.
The like masterwork longbow and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, those are on the feed trough.
Okay, good. Job done. Okay. I think you got it, and you all already took your gold shares, and you have defeated a local
how
gang
much
of
was that?
bandits.
Sorry, how much was the gold? I haven't had that.
82.
82. Got it.
Most important that Jim gets it because he just didn't have anything. Yeah, he's got it. All right. Well, you guys, today, roundabout after lunchtime, you crest a hill, and down before you in a river valley, a lovely plain right next to the river, you see the town of Longacre, and it is just spread out before you. It's a sizable town out here in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of pretty, picturesque. Looks very peaceful. Birds are singing. Clouds slowly rolling by. And yeah, Herschel spits.
Like this town.
Yeah, they're all the same.
You like any town, Herschel?
No.
Like anything, Herschel?
He says, I like Shantytown, which is the lower dock section of Igorian where all the prostitutes hang out.
Come here often, Herschel.
Oh, a couple of times a year. Let me find you guys a picture of Longacre. Here you go.
Know you really well here.
Yeah, he lists off a few people. He knows some local workmen. He's going to sell this barley at the town market tomorrow. It'll go fast because they mix the seeds from all over the country and truck stuff like this around. And he'll try to find something to pick up and take back to the capital in a day or so.
Those birds are enormous.
They are enormous birds. They're like kaiju birds. Kaiju pigeons are known in this region.
Hide your bread.
But it's a beautiful town, largely centered around its temple to Iomedae. Where to begin?
Are we gonna have? Will we have any trouble making it into town? Like, are there any guard checkpoints, or do we just walk in?
You pretty much. Herschel says that you're gonna hit the west gate, and they'll just kind of nod at you. During the daytime, they don't really even check. The gates are usually wide open.
Perfect. Let's make it into town and find a place to stay.
Okay. Got you guys some town ambiance. There you go. All right. You head down the road from the west side, and the first thing you come across is several guards at the gate who barely look up at you. They are just country guards. They don't even have a rank or sigil on them or tabard. You can just tell that they're a dude in really cheap armor standing at a gate that gives zero shits. And this main road looks like we'll take you past a couple of pubs, a couple different businesses. And he says, Herschel says, I gotta go way over the east side. So the wagon's going to continue. The trough is going to continue over to the general store.
Oh, we need to sell stuff anyway.
Okay. Well, you kind of cruise through town. You pass something called the Arch and Lark Pub. Round about the middle of town, you pass what looks like a jail, and you see a armored woman with a longbow leaning up against her. She's sitting on a bench out in front of the jail with her feet up, drinking a little mug of something with a hat pulled down, but she kind of looks out at you guys from under her hat, doesn't get up, doesn't say anything. Herschel barely glances at her. You guys roll right past.
Do I recognize?
What's that?
Can we assume that the painting that we took was out of its frame when we actually brought it? Like, we removed it from its frame?
It was in a nice frame. That's part of the value, is it's very well done.
Probably need to just keep it face down and covered up.
Currently, you have it wrapped in a blanket, so it just looks like a weird flat object.
Fine.
It'll be difficult to transport in a frame.
Yep. I figured you guys had it like on top of the wagon facing forward so that everyone,
Right. We marched it
Ah,
through
yes.
town.
if that's not the case.
Do I recognize the woman?
No. You recognize that she's probably the law around here, maybe a sheriff or deputy or something like that, by the way she's geared and looking at you and sitting in front of the jail. But she didn't bother to harass you or anything, so seems okay. You guys cruise on through a couple different streets. Herschel seems to know where he's headed. And you arrive at Gild's General Store. And Herschel walks in and goes, Gild, where the hell are you? And starts talking with the owner, talking about barley, talking about other stuff, and says, go ahead. He points at you guys, and you hear him say, these guys got a bunch of crap. What would you like to try to sell? Does anybody have a praise? An actual rank?
I might actually have trained that one. Let me look. I do. I have it.
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Oh,
I am so,
so do I.
awesome.
Your
I have
time
one
to
rank.
shine. One of you decide
cast
to
guidance.
assist.
Cast
I have
guidance on both of you.
+6. Do you want me to roll or?
Yeah, is someone going to assist?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll assist. So I guess I roll for that.
Yeah,
You
go ahead and
both
do it
get
just a
+10
normal
on
roll.
guidance.
You assist, you give Mogo +2, and someone did guidance for +1.
Yep.
Okay, so you have 20. All right, what all do we want to sell? Let me get your wagon out here so you guys know what you have. Come here, wagon. Where are you, bud? It's still in loot boxes. There we go. Feed trough. I assume we want to sell the extra weapons.
Yep. Weapons and armor. We also inquire about selling some art that we found in the possession of brigands that might not be the most flattering towards the Empire.
Who are you going to talk to about that?
Like this would be more of a gather information, not just the random
Okay.
first merchant that we find.
Okay, we're going to quit in this in a minute or two, so we may do the in-depth. I'm going to turn you guys loose and let you gather information all over the place. For now, let me just sell this. I'm selling sold the short bows, sold the short swords. The gold is in the wagon at the moment. Any of the rest of this you want moved, you're getting like a pretty solid 50 to 60% for all this.
We still need to change heavy steel shield as well.
You want to ditch that?
Yeah, and the chain shirt.
Okay.
And
what we're
the.
doing with the
I don't
composite
think anybody
longbow.
wanted the composite longbow, right?
Nope.
Nobody wanted
No.
the short sword.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, both of those then too.
Okay. Another 350.
Mogo is definitely haggling here.
Okay.
Come on, you busted my balls here.
Okay. And I'm going to give you an extra. Yep. Book price, you would have got $535. Mogo haggles them up to $595.
Like all devils, he loves making a deal.
Let's make a deal. Okay, that money's on the feed trough. But
We split that. What does that come to?
it's 24 plus 100, so each 124 each.
All right.
Okay, if you guys are all going to mark that down, I'm going to delete it off the trough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I need to stop about 5 minutes early tonight. Sorry for that, but thank you all for playing. Thank you, Tom, for giving the table a chance. I hope you had a great time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Some sweet moves there, Tom.
My favorite moment was definitely
Wow.
when Mogo fell in the spike pit needlessly.
That was good.
And Torek
Well, he
somehow
didn't-
didn't fall in, or he fell in but didn't take any damage.
Yep. I'm fine with that. I know I maybe bent a rule there, but it was funny. And
And then, of course,
yeah.
suplexes one guy into the pit.
Thanks for running, Toby.
You're welcome. I think we should be good to play next week, and I'm still on the hunt for one more player, assuming Tom sticks around. We'll see. We'll give him time to think about it. But
I'll be here next week.
all right, great. We're glad to have you. Okay, so I'll do some postings looking for one more this week, but I think we're on track to meet again next week. So thanks, everybody.
No problem.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Toby. Thanks, everyone.